Hi there, Dr. Sheep here. Welcome back to another TGIF Talks, episode 98. I'm your host, Dr. Sheep, joined by my co-host, Anonymous Phil.
Hi.
Roll the intro.
Wouldn't you like to get away? It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. And they're always glad you came.
These podcasts are broken down into 4 parts. First, we have how our week's been, followed by the news, followed by your comment, followed by right a fourth topic. Today's fourth topic, something related to superpowers again, because that's what we've realized we can milk that content. Anyways,
But is that what the viewers liked?
I don't know. They didn't say anything.
Oh.
Anyways, so today, happy. It's the 4th of July is tomorrow, so that's we had a party yesterday. That was fun. What did you do this week?
Week? Not a lot. I worked. I slept. I had some food here and there.
Oh, so I got that card. Turns out that green decks of cards are supposed to be like that.
Oh, what? You got another one?
I bought it, same exact thing. So I went and looked at the reviews. That's how it's supposed to be.
So you're supposed to have one joker and a blank card.
Apparently.
Ah. So they sent, what, the same one back? Or?
So I'm returning. I need to return the second deck. I haven't done that yet. But
Why not just have 2 of them?
What do you mean?
Just have 2 green decks.
I'd have to buy a second green deck then. But I already bought a purple deck that fixes the issue.
Oh.
And purple deck works better anyways. Blend of red and blue, and then just black. Just to have black. So, problem solved. Purple deck all the way. My poker set is freaking heavy as hell. It's like I think it's like 10 pounds. It feels like it's ridiculous, but it's excellent that way. So
It's excellent.
So much poker. We need to. I was kind of surprised your brother was even at the celebration yesterday.
Why?
He never shows up to freaking family gatherings and functions.
That's because he didn't have to work.
Yeah, how did he manage that? The man works 2 jobs. He works 80 hours a week.
No, he doesn't.
I'm making a joke that he works himself to death.
He works barely 40. I don't know. He works like 10 at one job, and then like 20 at another.
Why doesn't he just get like an actual job that will give him, the necessary hours, plus pay him better?
I don't know. That'd be a question for him.
It's like I know multiple.
Perhaps
jobs
we should bring him on the podcast as like a joke, as a guest. He'd be a guest to the podcast. So we have a new guest.
Every time we bring that kind of stuff up, though, he just gets flustered.
Hey, if we do manage to get him on, would Will join? Because didn't he say he liked to have all 4 of us?
Is that what Will said, or was that what Kyle said?
No, that's what you told me. Will said that.
Oh.
He misses the old days with all 4 of us on.
Oh, no, he wants us all in person, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Can you imagine all 4 of us in here?
No. I don't know where we would do that. I don't know how we would do that.
What do you mean? I'm sure there's room. We'd have to move that out of here. You all huddle around your little setup.
I do want to figure out how to get... I do want
Well, no, I suppose we just have to fit 3 of us, because then Kyle can just sit in the corner.
Like
He can just sit in the corner.
Well, no, so, I think what I want to try and figure out is, it's not a true mobile stream setup.
Or we do it all on your deck. We get it lawn chairs and do it on your deck.
Oh, we could probably do that. It'll be... The issue is where to put the camera, because the camera would have to be... So, we'd have to be facing out that way.
Yeah.
Because if the camera's facing that way, everything's gonna be blown out.
I suppose you could just do it in the field somewhere.
Oh yeah, weren't we supposed to do a podcast on UNL campus?
Were we?
I thought that was an idea. But I need to get a better stream. I need to get a better mobile stream set up. My laptop will not be able to do that. Not stream.
The
recording
camera's not
setup.
as good.
Huh?
Camera's not very good.
No. It's just not optimal. The thing's falling apart.
So you got a new laptop?
No, my old laptop that I had for school.
Oh, yeah.
I need to get a replacement of some sort. But I don't know. I wouldn't use it that often, so it's hard to justify it.
See, that's the thing. That's why I went laptop over computer.
Now,
Laptop's mobile.
building a mini. Now, I'd be willing to build a mini computer.
A mini computer.
Yeah, it doesn't need discrete graphics. It can use onboard graphics. It's not using it for gaming. We're using it just to.
Just get a mini laptop.
Well, no. See, I don't want to be. I would rather just plug it in. I don't have to worry about a battery. And I feel like. I guess I'd have to look into laptops again.
Yeah, cables going over cables around cords. Interesting.
It's a very those cords. It's a very complicated process back there.
Ay. Have you seen PewDiePie's most recent video?
I never got to watch it, but he did rank people's setups. Yes.
And yeah, this would not please him.
Well, see, my issue is so I want to be able to see inside of my computer. However, only way to do that is to have
push
it
against the wall.
No, listen. Only way to do that is to have it pointed like this. Except my cables aren't long enough to put it in wherever I want.
No. You buy one of those sleeve things that he has.
No, the cables aren't long enough.
Aren't long enough for a sleeve?
No, they're not. That's why it's like the way it is, because I'm pretty sure the HDMI cable that goes to this monitor, the DisplayPort cable that goes to this monitor is super short, and so it's this has to be like this. I'd have to buy a bunch of new cables and stuff.
That's what it takes.
I don't want to buy hundreds of dollars worth of cables.
Seems like you have plenty of cable length if they're just kind of...
Some of them. They're not long enough to properly manage, though. It's just kind of interesting the way that works.
It just looks like a mess.
Well, it is a mess, because part of the issue is it's just where you have to plug in power and stuff.
Yeah. Wait, how many outlets do you have? You have one... Just the one?
Yeah, it's all plugged into a power strip. Because nothing... It's such a pain to use the actual outlet.
Yeah.
Because the biggest... The thing...
Cords.
Please, to all the people who are making home electronics and stuff, please stop putting the power supply at the end of the cord. Put it somewhere in the middle of the cord like they do on laptops. Because you can't plug the thing in anywhere. It doesn't work. Stop doing it.
Wait, what? The power supply at the end of the... Oh, like the big brick?
Yes.
Yeah, because then you waste like 2 slots.
I've got a massive power strip that you're barely... It has plenty of room to populate everything. But you still have to use extenders and stuff so that you can use the space more optimally. You create fire hazards. Alright? It's I want to be able to cable manage my stuff. But you make it so damn difficult.
Yeah, Mac does that too. Like when you plug in an Apple laptop, you have to put the brick at the bottom one.
Even then, it still covers up the top one sometimes.
Well, no, if you put it in...
Depending on what you need to plug into the top one, yeah.
I've never had a problem with the top one.
We had the problem at the whole house.
It would cover the top and bottom?
Yeah.
Really?
Because to plug...
Because mine would just cover if I put it in the top, it'd cover the bottom. But if I put it at the bottom, I could still use the top. However, it would depend on what kind of cable. Because I think if I had a cable like this, for a phone, this is fine. But if it had a third prong, that I think would run into it. I think that would be an issue.
Yeah.
Like a vacuum cleaner,
Yep. It's a ground. So, manufacturers Always include a ground. There's no, this is unacceptable. Stop making these. It's stupid. I know the ground doesn't do anything half the time, but stop making these. They're stupid. Because the issue with these is you never know which way they need to go into the freaking socket on a power strip. Yeah. So
it goes in one way but not the other because it gets stuck. Because one side is wider than the other.
Right. Well, I've got when you don't know which way to go when you're trying to plug it in the power strip. So I have power strips with completely warped, with just broken spots in it because of that issue. You jam it in there trying to get, because it doesn't work anyway. If you have ground, though, you can never screw it up. This thing rattles.
Rattles?
Yeah, it was. I think it.
What the heck?
Yeah, I would not plug that into a wall. Probably.
Bro, you have something wrong with this.
No, I don't use it for anything.
How do you even open it?
It's fully molded plastic, so you probably can't without just destroying it.
Well, that'll be a good video.
Anyways, so no, I do need it for some stuff sometimes.
You use this?
Sometimes, because sometimes I just don't have
USB AC adapter. Is that what they call these?
Yes. Anyways, so manufacturers, stop making stuff the way you make it now. There are much better and easier. There are much better ways to do it. Please. Well, no, actually, the big issue is though, where do you put the stupid brick? Because laptop ones, they put the brick in the middle of the cord, which is fine. But if like you're a bit further away from the table, then the thing dangles there. And actually, my old laptop, it actually has developed a problem where the cable sheathing is coming off because the brick's so heavy.
Well, then what you do is, if it's long enough, you either tape it to the table, to the bottom of the table, or tape it to the
yeah. I'm just gonna everywhere I go tape the stupid brick.
Hey. You asked for a suggestion.
Well, there isn't a solution in some cases where because you need every bit of that cable you get, but it has to dangle because it's just I ran into that a lot. That's the whole point of, because at the Union, you plug it into the outlets because they don't have outlets in the tables, so they had outlets that weren't on the tables, but the distance from the outlet to the brick to the tabletop. The brick, that cable from the outlet to the brick is too short, and so it dangles, and so it's pulling on that cable constantly.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know who to blame. Do I blame the Dell for manufacturing the cable the way they did, or do I blame somebody else? Granted, I could very easily just find a longer initial cable.
Yeah?
Because that's the part that actually comes off. Then you have the brick with the thin part, and then you have the actual part that plugs into the wall. That could probably be replaced with, anything you find on Amazon. Mm-hmm. I don't think the resistance is too big of an issue. But, I don't know. Point is, fix your cables. I'm tired of having to buy massive power strips for 3 things.
We just need wireless electricity.
Yes, thank you, Nikola Tesla. What a great idea. Did I ever tell you about Disney's proposal? That Disney had a patent for wireless charging in all their theme parks and stuff?
If you did, I do not recall.
So basically, they're in the middle of your room, right? You had to have a big copper coil, pretty much. Big copper pole.
Yeah.
And you couldn't get within 3 feet of it or you died.
Yeah.
And so you could probably shield it just fine. No issues there. However, if there weren't devices in the room using up the power that was being generated in this room, you died.
Yeah.
Walk in the room, you're dead.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, it's a great idea. Yes, wonderful. Wireless charging wherever you are. Except, don't go within 2 feet of that pole in the middle of the room. Why?
You die.
You die. Oh, and also don't stay in the room too long if nothing's consuming the electricity. Because, guess what? You die.
Yeah. Small price to pay.
So, yeah, it's literally just a massive pole in the middle of the room that you get too close to, you die. If your phone's not charging, you die. So, but like the whole thing was I think the whole issue was like, so like they knew that people would constantly be consuming because everybody's phones are going to be at partial charge or something when they go to Disney World or Disneyland.
Yeah.
And so they'd be able to, charge your phone all the time. The issue, and they'd be able to probably find other things they can power wirelessly via this method. The issue was, I think, the pole. Because I think it either A, has to be exposed, so that means that you have to put a ring on the floor that says "Do not cross," because if you do, you die.
Yeah.
And you got children running around like, "Mommy, what happens if I run across the ring?" Ah!
They'll make more. Easily replaceable.
Define easily.
Yeah, 9 months.
Yeah, but I mean, if it kills your 9-year-old, that's 9 months, 9 years
Yeah.
to get you back to where you were.
No, because now you can raise the next one right.
So it doesn't run into an electrified pole.
Obviously, you did something wrong during those 9 years, okay? Let's be honest here. You did something wrong.
Hold on, what if you're 40, right, when you have this kid, right? So you're 49 now. You can't have a kid.
Well, wait. Is that when menopause starts?
Menopause. So
Is it mid
four?
40s?
It's actually at 40. 40s is it's a good cutoff.
No.
General cutoff. Obviously, every woman's different, but it's a good general cutoff.
So, if you were 40 when you had your kid,
Now, it's not impossible
then
to get pregnant
adopt
afterwards.
another one. I don't care.
Although, it would explain, though, why your kid ran into the pole. Because you had him when you were 40.
Yeah, well, there's your first mistake.
The mistake here is
Is
that
you.
after 35...
Look inward.
No, after 35, your the genes in your eggs are not great.
The problem was not the kid. The problem was you. Look
Genes.
inward.
Look at your genes. You're high. The older you are when you have kids, the more likely it is for the kids to have some sort of learning disability or something like that.
The older you are?
Yes.
Mm.
When you have your kid.
So you're
It's not so much of a deal for the sperm, but it's a big deal for the eggs.
So your proposal is that we should have more people having kids at like 16, 15. Nice and early, right?
According to biology, yeah.
Yeah.
There was, Linus was talking about his wife when they had their first kid versus their last kid.
When they have it?
I don't know. She was in her early 20s or whatever.
Okay.
And, the doctors say these girls that come in and have them when they're, 18, 20, they bounce right back.
What do you mean bounce right back?
They heal quick.
Oh, the kids?
No. The mother.
Oh.
The mother just bounces right back.
Okay.
She heals quick. She's healthy, within several months after having, if it's a normal delivery, of course. She's ready to go. Bounced right back, and she's got all the energy. And also, that's the thing. When you're young, you have all this energy to also keep up with the kids.
Yeah.
Modern society, though, is causing women to have children later and later and later. And which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. However, it's much more difficult on your body when you're older, and B, you also have much less energy.
Yeah.
Imagine you're a 43-year-old mom trying to chase around a toddler. That's not going to go well.
No.
My hip. 40 years old chasing around a toddler. I'm not doing that.
So you want to have kids now?
Yes, when you're young.
When you're young, okay?
Unfortunately, nobody has money when they're young, so you can't have kids. Plus, everybody wants to travel and do things.
Yeah.
There's
Can't travel.
biology is preventing you, unfortunately. Now, you could theoretically freeze
Adopt
your...
a kid. Yeah, what you do is, so you wait
Not
till
if
like
you
you're
don't, not
40
if you
or
want to
50,
pass on your genes.
and then you adopt a kid when you're 40 who was born from a mother who was about 20 or so.
Well, see, my other theory was you freeze your eggs when you're young, freeze your sperm when you're young, and then you get a surrogate when you're older.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Yeah, people do it all the time.
Yeah? Go on. What's the problem?
The big issue, but then you still have the other issues where now you don't have the energy to keep up with the kid. Now you're 40, 50 years
All right,
old.
so if you're mid-30s, I'd say you could still keep up with the kid.
Not compared to a 20-year-old.
No, but I think you could do a sufficient enough job.
Do you remember do you remember the How I Met Your Mother episode where Barney tries to prove that he can do all the things that he used to do when he was young?
No.
And it about freaking kills him. He goes to raves, gets a massive infection in his ear.
No, I don't recall that episode.
Okay. Well, you'll have to watch it. Basically, it about kills him. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think Barney is like the oldest character in the show. He's like, I think he was like 30 when they met him. And they were all 25. He's like 40 at the end of the show.
Really?
Yeah, he's old as piss.
Old as piss.
Yeah.
How long do you keep your piss in its sack? We're like, all right, well, I think we've had this long enough.
That.
I think we've had this long enough. It's been in there for about 8 days. Time to release.
Oh no, not peeing for 8 days?
Yeah.
That's how you go septic and die. Anyways, if you want to see what that reference
Actually, that's
is
how
to,
someone
go watch
had
the
that's
organ
how someone
raking
had the
video.
longest pee. The longest piss, I think, is like 8 minutes.
I mean, I've peed for like 2 minutes before.
I mean, I think what they did was just have a whole bunch of water and just... I don't know. Do they make, like... So they make butt plugs, but do they make, like...
It's called a catheter that you
catheter?
don't open up.
That'll... Yeah. Okay. So actually, someone did use a butt plug and had the world's longest. It was like 60 feet long, or because they had to do it on a bowling alley.
They put them on a cart or what?
No, they just crouched down and walked. There's a video.
I don't want to see that.
I didn't see the video, but I saw an image, and that was enough. I saw an image, and that was enough.
Why a bowling alley?
Well, because they needed a long space to do it, so they could measure it accurately.
No one's ever
If
going...
you do it in a toilet, you can't measure that.
We can't do it at a gym?
No.
Or outside?
No, they I think I don't know if they had friends, someone that worked at a bowling alley.
Who had to clean that up?
I don't want to know. But yeah, you just see him kind of just squatting down and walking down.
No. Okay. News
Well, maybe
segment
it's like
time.
20
the news.
because the bowling alley is
No, it's
60.
enough of that. The news. James Webb
Oh yes.
is about to take. It's about to release.
Yeah, July
the first,
12th. I read that. Yeah,
Yes,
July
about to release
12th.
its first scientific data. Very exciting. Can't wait
Thing's
for our.
absolutely massive.
Yeah, when you
Look at that. Look at a person
yeah,
stand
they're
next to that.
tiny. When you saw the images of it on the rocket and stuff, like, well, that doesn't look that big.
No, but
it's
like
huge.
it's massive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ouch. I ripped a hair.
Anyways, so James Webb's getting ready. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. Big new shiny telescope that's already been bruised and battered by micrometeorites. But as I said before, and Dr. Becky has said time and time again, there's a telescope in Texas that was shot by a crazy dude that still did valuable scientific research for decades afterwards. Because only in Texas. So anyway.
I want to see like a full image. These are all artist renditions.
Oh,
real-
over there, to your left.
That's kind of. I want to see like the real thing. Is this Hubble? What
Yeah.
is this? Yeah, that's Hubble. But I wanted to see like the real thing. Is this the real thing? Nah, kind of. Oh, here we go.
That doesn't look right. It looks too small. Oh, that's not fully extended.
I did that wrong.
That's not fully extended, though, is it?
Yeah.
Doesn't look like
All right,
it.
here we go. Here we go. I want like a straight on view.
I don't think you were allowed to get that close.
Here we go. Kind of right. Well, obviously someone had to work on it.
Oh yeah, but I don't think they took photos during that.
All right, this is full scale. I like this.
That's
one.
the same photo we were just looking at.
Yeah, but
Nope, next one.
But they cut it off. The image is cut off.
Mm.
This one's better because now you can see the full height of it.
Yeah, it's freaking.
What is one of
huge.
these panels like? What, 6 feet?
It
We have 18 of them, right? Honeycomb. 1, 2,
Yeah.
3.
Yeah,
4,
that's
5,
18. I don't
6,
remember-
7, 8, 9, 10,
remember how
11,
big it is.
12, 14, 15, 16,
I still think the
18.
whole folding system's kind of crazy the way it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just wait till the extremely large telescope gets online, though. It makes James Webb look like a toy.
Hey.
Look at it folded up, though. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Just folds up into a nice, neat little package.
Yep. Ready to ship.
L to L2.
Yep.
But, like, yeah, the thing was designed to never be touched after it was launched.
This is folded up into a square. Rectangle.
Yeah. Big sausage.
Here's another one. I think we're getting distracted.
Yeah, you're getting distracted.
Sorry.
That's why you don't run the mouse.
Oh, another one.
It's gone. Anyways, yes, very exciting,
Very big.
very big. Although extremely large telescope 2035 is going to be.
Wait,
even
what
better.
does it say? 10:30 a.m. Oh, that's when they start broadcasting.
Yeah. It's a big.
Scroll down. Ooh, there we go.
It's a big.
They said
We
that's-
already saw that image. You said no.
Yeah, because you can't see all the panels.
Yeah. So, very very fun. I
Oh, there's
can't
a.
wait.
Oh,
Hubble.
what are they taking a picture
Hubble.
of? What are they taking a picture
It's
of?
the Hubble Deep Field.
That's what they're taking a picture of?
No, I don't know. They didn't. They're just. It's a bunch of scientific data. So who knows?
It should be the Eagles Nebula.
They're taking pictures of all kinds of stuff.
Is it one picture or just multiple? Ooh.
I don't know what their plan is.
There we go. Well, scroll up. There it is. The elephant's tusk or whatever, right?
But they're not doing
Oh,
this
the
kind of
horse
stuff.
head,
I think
yeah.
these first ones are surveys.
Oh.
So it's hundreds of thousands of photos and that kind of stuff.
They're going to release the best ones.
No, they're releasing scientific data.
What? This is a photo, though.
No, they're releasing scientific data
But
that can be composited into a photo, but it's scientific data. They're not releasing like an actual
the
photo.
first photo drop.
Yeah, that's what they're calling it, but it's just scientific data. It's not
What?
It's not what you think it is.
How do you know? Why? Is this what Dr. Becky said?
It's not what you think it's
So
going to
when
be.
are they going to release an actual picture?
That's not what it's meant for. It's not what it does. Its job is to take data. There will be people who will get that, but for these first several months, first several studies, it's going to be hard scientific studying. I'm sure somebody might have a composite color image you can find, but
Because I read they're going to have an actual photo, like a picture.
I don't.
That's what I read somewhere.
I don't know. I've heard it's just going to be they're releasing data that you can then do whatever the heck you want with. It's just data.
Because I could have.
I'm sure you can turn it into a photo, and
No,
I'm
but I
sure
thought
they'll
I read-
show that. But it's not gonna be like they're not picking someplace in the sky. It's just data, because it's just been collecting data recently. It's not like, oh, what's the first thing we want to take a photo of? Oh, let's pick this. No. It's just it's surveying the whole sky, taking photos.
Skeptical, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, like they'll have a photo probably of something like that, but that wasn't what they were. That's not what they're trying to do.
I know that.
It's not like Hubble. When it went up, they were like, "What's the point of something? Get a cool image or whatever." No, this isn't. I think James Webb, because of how much people have requested to use it, it's But again, this really does look back, because like Dr. Begg was talking about how she applied for time on the Hubble Space Telescope and didn't get it.
Yeah.
Because like it's really difficult, and she talked about how many people applied, and I started thinking about it. I'm like, why? How? That's so easily privatized. A company could easily build a space telescope and put it up into orbit, and they could make crap tons of money.
Yeah.
I mean, either from just average people wanting to use it and take their own photos, or scientists needing to use it because their study wasn't good enough to be on Hubble or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you already can actually. There was a service I saw an advertisement for where you can remotely access telescopes all across the world, pay for time to use on them, and do your own personal photos and stuff. They're not big, massive science telescopes. They're just like big hobby grade ones. Hobby grade, but they're not. They're nothing. They're not. They're probably the largest ones are probably the size of one of St. James Webb's panels.
Yeah.
Maybe that big. But again, I mean, so I'm like, if they can do that, why don't we see companies putting up space telescopes? I don't understand how no one's been able to figure out a way to make money off of that. Seems skeptical, but oh well. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe that's our business idea there, Phil.
Yeah.
We build a space telescope.
No.
A privatized space telescope.
We can't even build our own.
Well, no. That's the whole thing. We go get investments, right? Tell people the business plan. All we have to do is come up with the idea, and then we hire people to implement it.
Yeah.
After we get funding. And I bet you we can find funding.
Would be.
So, actually, I've not covered that many bug bites from last night, to be honest.
Well, a lot of them are from the week ago. When I went outside at like 3 in the morning.
That's where all mine are from, too. Well, it wasn't not that, but I mean.
You went outside at 3 in the morning?
No, when I was on my bike ride.
Oh.
And I had to retighten my seat. Did I ever tell you that story?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to tighten my seat and got eaten alive by mosquitoes.
Yeah, and then you walked your bike to your apartment because you forgot a wrench.
No, that was the walking back was before I tightened the seat.
Oh.
And got eaten alive by mosquitoes.
Oh.
Yeah, that was nasty. Yeah, that weekend was terrible for mosquitoes. I think they went and sprayed though. Anyways, NASA is finally getting ready to launch Artemis 1. Not people. This is just it's just empty, but it's to
Where's it going?
To the moon.
To the moon.
It's gonna orbit around the moon and come back.
What?
Yeah. They're testing all the systems to make sure everything works before we put humans in the
Wait, can
thing.
it re-land?
What do you mean?
It comes back. Does it re-land?
What are you talking about? Right. What part? What part of the
rocket is like this, right? So how I picture this, it launches up, okay? These fall off. First of all, do these come back down to the Earth and land?
No. These are like this whole part here is basically reused shuttle parts.
Okay, so this breaks off, goes in orbit. This breaks off. You have this capsule comes around, and this re-lands. But all this is gone.
It doesn't necessarily land. I mean, landing.
This will crash into the ocean. But all these three
actually they're actually going to do land instead of ocean.
Oh, really? Okay, so this lands on land, but these three are all just gone in space.
They crash back
up
to Earth.
Yeah.
They crash into the ocean.
Okay.
Just like the shuttle.
Wow, this is a nice Sharpie. Nice
because it's new.
Well, you don't use it?
I don't need Sharpies a lot. That Sharpie was bought for the timeline project.
No, but see, that's what SpaceX was perfecting. When these break off, they come back down and.
Yeah, but this is not SpaceX. This is the government. The government doesn't give a damn.
Okay.
That's the whole thing. This whole thing is. This has been. The whole point of this was to make it cheap, because they wanted to reuse space shuttle parts, and that was the whole point, was to make it cheap. And it ended up getting drastically inflated out. The budget for this thing is massive. Just it's consuming all of NASA's budget, which is sad.
Seems like it'd be cheaper to get the high tech technology for it to be reusable. But okay.
Well, see, NASA doesn't have that's not. The government has no interest in that. To them, it's ending. When this was first came up with, the shuttle had just ended.
Yeah.
And so it was an idea to just reuse what we had laying around for parts, and use that as a thing. But then,
so how many of these rehearsal flights do they want to do before the first man goes back to the moon again?
Well, are we talking walking on the moon, or are we talking orbiting the moon?
Walking on the moon, yeah.
We don't know.
Walking on the moon, do they have a date? All right, I mean, orbiting the moon, do they have a date for that?
Probably next year.
Really? Next year?
I think literally the next flight after this is going to be orbiting the moon.
Really? With
Yeah.
a man?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that'd be cool.
Yeah, because they have to start. They're going to start building the lunar gateway station.
And then, what, do they want to go to Mars before 2040?
I don't. NASA isn't even talking about a Mars mission.
Why?
There's not funding for it.
Elon wants to go to Mars.
It's interesting. There's no.
All right. Do you think Elon will put a man on the moon before NASA?
On the moon? No.
No.
Are we talking the moon or Mars?
The moon. Isn't the plan to go to the moon, build like a refueling station, and then go to Mars?
No.
No? Oh, they just want to go straight to Mars.
No, it's complicated. It's different. No, NASA's gonna beat Elon to the moon.
Okay.
Because NASA needs Elon to get to the moon.
NASA needs Elon to get to the moon.
It's complicated.
So Elon's going to get to the moon first.
It's complicated. Because the whole system is so overly complicated, and they've been working on this for the past 20 years, and it's just so clustered up and just broken at this point. Oh, we're not even showing this. Anyways, it's so broken, such a cluster. Oh my god, they didn't see any of it. I don't think. Oh my god, I don't think they saw any of those pictures we were looking at.
Oh.
Anyways,
Rip.
It's such a cluster. So basically, this system is to get you basically just to orbit around the moon.
Okay.
This whole rocket is just for that.
Okay, and now where does Elon fit into the picture?
So then they hired Elon to then build a lunar lander.
Oh, okay.
Which requires an entire starship.
So NASA is going to
And
go to
heavy
the moon
booster.
with something that Elon provided.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, I follow. But at the same side, Elon is still working to go to Mars, not the moon. His focus is on Mars, not the moon.
I don't think he has any interest in the moon. I mean, he's going to send people up to
I
orbit
thought he was
the
going to
moon
build
to make
like a
money.
moon space station or something.
I mean, maybe eventually, but I don't know what his plan is right now. His plan is just get the rocket to work.
When is the
Crystal.
next closest approach, though? I guess there's always a closest approach every year.
Yeah, well, anyways.
Because right?
Well, anyways, NASA's got to build a space station.
Yeah, so the Earth orbits faster than Mars. So it seems like every year it
It's 2 years.
Every 2 years it passes it.
Mm-hmm.
So if they miss their chance, they have to wait 2 years before their next closest approach.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But anyways, so it's such a cluster. The whole system is just broken. This is basically just to shuttle astronauts to their lunar gateway.
Yeah.
which they're going to build, which is a space station around the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't the ISS replacement, but it in the eyes of the U.S. government, it is. If that makes sense.
This?
The Lunar Gateway.
Oh, the Lunar Gateway.
Because, so like, you know, ISS was...
Lunar Gateway?
Yeah. So, the ISS is funded by the U.S. government. The Lunar Gateway is going to be funded by the U.S. government.
Okay.
However, it's not the ISS because they're going to replace the ISS with commercial programs that NASA's not paying for. The government isn't
okay.
paying for.
This is what I was thinking of. A small space station in lunar orbit.
That's the Lunar Gateway.
Yeah. I heard about this. Solar-powered communication hub. Science laboratory.
Yeah. The real big question, though, is what this...
November 24th is when their planned launch date is.
You're not going to meet that.
November 20... Oh! November 2024. I said that wrong.
Okay, there you go.
November 2024.
That sounds more realistic.
Yeah,
And they're not going to walk on the moon until like 2025.
probably.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the old thing, though. So, SpaceX's the lunar lander they're building, it can't return to Earth
Okay.
because it'll burn up. It won't be designed for that. It looks just like a starship, but it won't have the hardware to return to Earth.
Well, no.
So a lot of people are questioning how many times can we use it to ferry astronauts to and from the lunar surface before we have to refurbish it, fix it. How are we going to fix it in orbit, you know?
You know, the other scary thing is, I read an article, this was years ago, but there has been a noticeable effect. Well, I don't know what they meant by noticeable, but an effect from manned missions to the moon on the lunar atmosphere. Because the moon does have an atmosphere, but every time, you know, we go through and back out, we are, you know, taking some of that with it, and, you know, we're damaging it. And
Okay.
it's not replaceable. I don't know what sort of effect it has if it completely dissipates, but the more we land on the moon, the more we will be unable to study the atmosphere.
But what can we learn from the lunar
I don't know.
atmosphere?
I'm just saying that that is an effect we're having on the moon. I don't know if there is something to be learned there, but that is an effect that we are having.
Real issue, actually, when you're landing on the moon, is dust.
Yeah.
Because that dust, you can kick it up into you basically have it
There's
orbit
also
the moon.
there's also no wind, so it'll just come back down.
No, the dust, if done correctly, will orbit the moon, come back, and destroy your spaceship.
Oh, really?
It's a real concern. If you don't land correctly, or if something goes wrong, the dust will come back and destroy your spaceship, because it can kick it up that high that it can get above the mountains and stuff, that it will come back and destroy whatever's in orbit, in low lunar orbit, like super low lunar orbit.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, they're rocket engines, and they're just kicking that regolith, and it just pebbles just fly, and they get kicked into orbit. It doesn't take much,
Yeah.
you know. So little pieces of dust. It doesn't take much to get them into orbit around the moon. But anyways, so yeah. So now now the race is on now between Starship and Artemis. Obviously, they're two different things, but you know, a lot of people are like, "Oh, the government's paid the EPA off so that they can get their Artemis mission launched before Starship." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But it's like, why? NASA needs Starship to succeed. Otherwise, we can't go to the moon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting.
Sounds like it.
But and they're talking static fires here sometime in July for the booster, the big one, biggest rocket ever.
Is it going to be launched when?
It's just a test fire.
But it's gonna be launched when?
We don't know.
Oh.
Elon time says July,
And this
August.
This is the BFR.
It's Starship and the super heavy booster.
Did they make him change it? Because it wasn't originally called
No,
the BFR.
he just changed it himself.
What? I thought his name. Well, I thought originally it was called the Big Effin' Rocket.
Well, that they've changed it since then.
Because the medium.
No, they just changed it. Elon doesn't give a crap, especially since he controls Twitter at this point.
Well, now he does. He didn't before.
I still don't think he cared. So, that's not the issue. Anyways, yes. Very exciting. We're going to the moon.
Yep.
But still going to be a long time before we see boots on the ground. But it'll be exciting to see us walking on the moon again. Big middle finger to the rest of the planet. Countries that have walked on the moon. More than... Countries that have... okay.
Countries that use English. Countries that use metric system. Countries that have been on the moon twice.
Yeah, that went to the moon twice. Took them 60 years to go back, but...
Hey, besides the point.
Yeah. Should have gone to Mars. Anyways. News segment time. Your comments. All right. Well, what's going on here? Shh. Anyways, let's pull up the old comment section here. This is the wrong channel. We're at 506 subscribers. Blah 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 blah. Are there any on the science channel? I thought there were. Oh, okay. There's this one. What holds atoms together? Reasoner commented, my atheist friend told me it was just UHU. What are you doing?
I don't know.
Stop messing around with that. That was the whole comment.
My
Atheist friend told me it was UHU. I don't think it's supposed to be. I don't think you should look that up.
Why?
I think it's a hentai thing. You really should not look that up.
Then turn that off.
I don't want that on my computer. That's why I'm telling you not to look it up, regardless of whether it's here. UHU, I think, is a hentai thing. You really shouldn't look it up.
You think so?
Yeah. You remember UWU?
Hmm?
UWU? UWU?
Ultra high temperature processing.
No. That's not what it... No.
No?
It's no. Well, how is that UHU?
UH... Oh, U. I did T. It says an alternative spelling of uh-oh.
Yeah.
Let's go to slang. Mild spelling of uh-oh.
Anyways, Reasoner, your comment doesn't make any sense, so... Moving on from your comment, the gaming channel's got comments. Your comment is boring, irrelevant, and I'm sorry.
Unsolved homicide unit.
I don't think that's what they're referring to. Okie dokie.
Images?
Killing the Wither in Minecraft 101. Boop boop boo doo. For the bare necessities, simple bare necessities. Killing the Wither, Minecraft 101.
I don't see anything related to hentai, but I don't want to type the word hentai afterwards.
Yeah. Well, I think it's similar to UWU.
Uwu?
UWU? Do you remember that? PewDiePie, it was an old PewDiePie thing. It was an old meme.
No.
Anyways, it's a... I don't know. Maybe it's not hentai, but it's not useful for anything that humanity needs. Anyways, moving on. Killing the Wither, Minecraft 101. The water bottle commented, "World is progressing nicely. Thank you, thank you. Now that we've successfully killed the Wither, and we can do it again. The hardest part is literally just getting the damn skulls."
Did he launch fireworks again?
What?
Scroll down. Mr. Beast. Did he? Oh. That's old. Last year.
I'm not surprised that it's getting views again. And getting recommended. Okay, next. Next video.
Actually, he highlighted. He alluded to another video. Man spends 100 days in the house.
Yeah, I already heard about that one before
Oh,
I made
really?
this
From
video.
where?
Safety Third Podcast.
They're going to have a person sit inside of a circle
Yeah.
for 100 days.
Yep.
That's crazy.
You really need to watch the Safety Third Podcast.
Why? Because I get inside scoops and things?
Sometimes it's also just a really good
Wait,
podcast.
when did you hear about that?
Thursday.
Oh, so recently. Wait, what is 100 days from now?
Well, no, because that video started back before you did the candy video.
Oh, I know. I just know.
The Candy Factory video, that was made like months ago. It's over now. The 100 Days Challenge is over.
You think so?
Yeah. Easily has to be over by now. Anyways, it's getting close. Anyways, 'cause I think the candy thing was back in like May or April.
100 days would be October 11th from today.
Yeah, and this was done a while ago.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think this was back in May or April.
So I think the video will come out like what, August, September?
No, it'll come out before that. Well, I don't know. If it starts in April, it'll be out before then. If it started in May, yeah, August or September. Long time to wait for it, because it's gonna be a really good video. Because Safety Third Podcast alluded to some of the stuff the guy does.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
I don't. Do you want me to spoil it?
No.
You gotta just watch the podcast. It's good. It's worth your time. Base improvements. Teach Minecraft number 10. The Waterball commented, "You said the word tree." I'm not gonna say it now though.
Say the word tree.
Tree. The whole thing was I don't like tree
Why?
because you don't need them in Minecraft.
Oh.
But you don't need them if you build in the right places. I don't build in the right places. At least I haven't for the past several. For the last several instances. Now, I will have to build a tree production facility for my Super Flat Survival, which released Wednesday for you guys. I still have to record that at some point. Anyways, Global Warming Bedrock Let's Play 34. The Warball commented, "You should only expand the world when you have to, so it's like super dense like New York." Yeah, I'm running into snags with not being able to expand the world. It's getting really annoying. Yeah, so this world is a confined size. I showed you that before.
Yeah.
So, and then the beacon. Ryan Orange, are you this rich? Minecraft 102, Ryan Orange commented. Not rich, just poor. The netherite beacon is the hardest to get. I don't remember him adding that part. He must have added. Oh, he edited it. He added it later. A little bit. The netherite beacon. I watched a guy who made a netherite beacon in hardcore mode. Basically, if you die, it deletes the world.
Yeah.
Very, very difficult. It's cruel mode from Survival Craft. And then a child died for this. Bedrock Let's Play 35. Okay, I guess I found it. I would have named it Lake personally. Lol, the video or the lake? I don't know what he was referring to, but it did get 5 views, this video. Oh man, a child died for this. That's a fantastic title. Anyways, there might be a comment on this. Otherwise, it's just the stream. No, there isn't. Okay. Anyways, yeah. So, that's all the comments. As for future of the channel, next weekend, finally, Phil and I get to, finally gonna record all these damn videos that we've been just writing and stockpiling. Did you ever finish those videos? Writing them?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. I didn't really do it much this last week on it, so I don't know where their progress is at.
So
I suppose we could finish writing and produce them all in one day or one weekend.
I don't know about writing. Anytime we tried to write something and produce it one day, we ended up. Do you remember that? I don't remember what video it was, but there was a video that we basically finished writing. I think it might have been the light video. We were up till like 2 a.m. making the video or something stupid.
Oh, sounds about right.
Yeah. It's a dangerous idea to do that, but an interesting idea. So lately I've had a bunch of I've been wanting to play a lot of Minecraft. It's all I want to do. It's all I can think about.
Yeah.
And it's just like I just got projects I want to work on, just things I want to do, and I see these videos of I'll show you this YouTuber I've been watching recently. This guy. So this is the guy that I was talking about, like a full netherite beacon. It took him like 6 months to do this. Now, granted, he wasn't working like every single day of all those months or whatever. Like he had done that, he probably could have done it in like a month or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's just this is definitely not a project I would like to do. I couldn't pull this off. This is a lot of work for not much. It's a lot of work for just a beacon, but like a diamond beacon, I think would be it's difficult, but it would definitely be an interesting challenge. But it's just like, there's all these ideas. Like currently I'm working on these pyramids.
Yeah.
And I'm currently flattening out and leveling this area, but it takes time, and it's like, I see these YouTubers do these projects and these videos, they publish it once a week or whatever. But I'm like, they had 40 hours to work on this. This is their job.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, I have to balance. I don't have 40 hours a week to play.
Nope.
So, it took me, 30 episodes to build a damn skyscraper, or 30 episodes to build a donut. Well, yeah, I don't have... I wasn't really too inspired during those 30 weeks it took me to do that. But at the same time, it's like... but at the same time, it's just, I don't have 40 hours. I have 30 minutes sometimes, make the video, that's it.
Yeah.
And so, the water bottle, we're talking about something, and he's like, why don't you go, full effort? If you want to do this, you got to go full effort. And I'm like, when I get home from work, I don't want to do anything sometimes, and to sit down and to do this kind of stuff.
We just need to take a week off from work and just pound out videos.
But see, it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't?
That's because, like, it just doesn't. They're not going to be good.
Oh, you don't?
Because I'm going to be forcing myself to work on them.
Oh, so you need, like, inspiration so you can...
Yeah, like the iCarly sock video.
You need inspiration.
That video is, honest to God, probably... scientifically...
Is it doing good?
No, but, like, scientifically wise, it's crap. It wasn't done properly, but I was limited by what I had or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's a good video.
It's alright, yeah.
Because, like, when you look at what makes a good video, right? Okay?
That.
So we've got an interesting question. Is the butter sock a good weapon? So that's the, if you've watched iCar, you know what that is.
Windy.
And then, we've got a good intro. We get right into
Cold.
it. Like, here's what we're doing. We're testing the butter sock. And, like, here's all the things we're going to do. Here's how we're going to do this. Now, obviously, it could have been better energy or whatever.
Mr. Beast style say, I rented out to scream.
Yeah.
I got a butter with...
obviously, in this one, the audio isn't great. But, again, it was February. It was 50-mile-an-hour winds outside.
Yeah.
There's not much I could do.
Then you may be thinking, Doc, why? Why would you test it?
Like, You just need to say, I filled a sack full of butter and I'm going to whack at a melon. What I am.
That's a good TikTok.
Tundra. Well, this is probably the last day it's going to be.
And then after the first hit, the video's over.
No, I like this. I like this, though.
Sheep here. Welcome back to the frozen tundra. Well, this is probably the last day it's going to be.
It was.
Windy and cold. And then it'll just be windy.
Yeah, that's true. It was. No, it wasn't. The next week. No, this was. This was the last, like, cold, really cold day.
This was in February?
Yeah.
February?
Yeah. This was one of the, like, last very cold days, if I remember correctly. Because the next one was the banana one, and it was, like, 60 degrees and sunny. And it was, like, March.
Oh, I saw that video.
Which one? Oh, the overnight in the most remote camp on Earth.
It looked interesting.
Was it?
It was alright. She goes to the Arctic Circle.
I think her videos have definitely fallen off compared to her old ones.
It was alright. I was just looking to see, how far out there she was, but I do miss some of the. She did have like some interesting like science videos back in the day. I haven't really seen a lot of her newer stuff. Actually, she did one on electric cars versus hydrogen cars. That was kind of interesting.
It was. You can't trust it though.
Oh, I can't?
Mm-mm.
Why?
Because it was sponsored by Toyota,
Oh.
who has dumped all their money into hydrogen.
So at least you have a biased opinion on hydrogen.
That's a useless opinion. No, Linus Tech Tips actually, they did a video about hydrogen versus battery powered cars.
Oh yeah?
And it was around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Toyota provided them with the car,
Yeah.
but they didn't take their money because they wanted to be able to compare it and say whatever they want.
Oh.
They're like, we'll use the car, but we want to be able to say what we want.
So we don't want your money.
Yeah. They did do a big, shill at the end talking about how hydrogen's going to be better for semis.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was like, what? No, it doesn't make sense. But, but then I thought about it, I'm like, I guess in the context of what they're saying right now, yes. Hydrogen makes sense right now. Now, if we're talking in the future when battery technology is completely different than what it is now,
Here's one thing I'm going to tell you about battery technology. It progresses very slowly. We've been working on batteries since the early 1800s, and this is the best we got. In 200 years, this is the best we got. Something you know about battery technology, it progresses very slowly. So, in 10 years, it's not going to be much different. I'm telling you that right now.
But, see, I don't think we were investing as much as we could have been.
We've been investing in batteries for the long... People thought there was no need for carburetor engines because electric vehicles came out before gas-powered vehicles, if you didn't know that. Except as soon as gas-powered vehicles were introduced into the market, people are like, holy shit, what are we wasting our time with electricity for? It took 100 years for electricity to catch up and even introduce itself and say, hey, remember me? And gas is still blowing it out of the water.
No, but if you looked at money being invested into batteries versus money being invested into internal combustion,
they don't need to invest a whole bunch of money into internal combustion engines because it already is better than batteries.
No, but the money invested is still larger than it was in electrics for that 100 years.
Yes, because they realized it's going to be a long process.
I don't.
It's going to be. I'm telling you that right now.
I don't think so. Yes, I do believe you that it developed slowly, but I think that's because we just weren't investing it as much as we should have and could have been. Had we given it the same amount of energy, if we give it the same amount of drive and money that we did for the internal combustion engine, I guarantee you we would be much further along than we are now.
The science wasn't also there yet. We have learned so much about chemistry and bonds and all that The technology was not there at the time to help it flourish.
But we would have developed the technology along the way.
There was no need to, because as soon as gas was introduced, there was no need to.
That's what I'm saying.
So you're saying
if we had decided to just keep going down the electric path and invested the money that we did into into gasoline, had we invested that into electric, they could have been a lot further.
I don't know if I necessarily agree. A lot further. I mean, yes, we'd be further. I don't know if I'd go as far as to say a lot further. It's a slow progress.
I think we would have reached peak lithium battery long time ago then.
But here's the thing about lithium. It's not any more better than lead acid and NiCad. The capacity of lithium is about equal. It's not that much better. And actually, the cost that you save to make it lightweight doesn't even make it that much better. Because lithium is lighter, but they're trying to put it in aircrafts. But it does not give you there's no big benefit of having a lithium-based aircraft versus lead acid. The amount of money the amount of weight you save versus the capacity you gain is not there. There is almost
no. In that kind of application, but in cars, you have to use lithium. You cannot use anything else. The energy density is not there.
In what? Lead acid or what?
Yes. Lead acid's too dense. It's too heavy.
It's heavy, but I'm telling you right now, the capacity gained from lithium is not that much better.
But it's so much lighter that it overcomes that. If
it was so much lighter, it's not a huge difference though.
If it wasn't, I really think you're underselling it here, because why would they be bothering with lithium if lead acid was just fine?
I wonder if it's cheaper to make. I don't know why.
It's not.
It's also the lead. People don't like work because people don't like working with lead.
It's not the lead. It's the lightweight nature of the lithium battery.
How much lightweight is it? I don't know.
It's incredibly light. They were talking, when we're talking about cars and batteries and distance, you have to build the battery lighter and lighter and lighter.
Yes.
To hold more energy, to make it more energy dense.
Yes.
Lead acid yes, it can hold the same amount of energy, but it's so much heavier, like significantly heavier.
Let's look at it. I don't know how. I'm looking at it because I don't know.
Lithium ion battery energy density.
Is that what I want to look up?
Yes, because it'll give you watts per gram.
Watts per kilogram. Okay, 260, and then. 25
to 35 watts per kilogram.
So 100. No, that's 10. 10 times. And then so this is almost double what I can do. But then there's another one.
Well, yeah, but they literally just developed this. It's brand new.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the cutting edge. It's
yeah. Oh no, it's still in the works. I know. So it's 10 times.
Lithium is more than 10 times. Oh yeah, 10 times. Yep.
10 times.
It's actually a little bit more than 10 times, but 10 times.
Yeah.
The energy density.
Yeah.
So you said a little bit. 10 times is a lot.
Is it though?
When we're talking about a car, I can get 10 times the amount of energy with the same amount of mass. That's 10 more miles.
But the cost isn't lithium a lot more? How expensive is it though? Is lithium a lot more expensive to work with?
They've overcome that.
Have they?
Yeah. Tesla spits out batteries so damn fast that it doesn't even
you're
matter.
saying that, but like, it's you can the cost of driving an electric vehicle is about equal to driving a gas-powered vehicle. Because my manager was doing the math, and he said, even with current gas prices, he does not, cutting out all the gas, charging for free, does not really make that big of a dent. Because
it's not
you're like because they're about $10,000 more expensive than traditional gas powered, but you spend about $10,000 in gas over the lifespan that you have the car. Not to mention the batteries go bad after what? How many years? 5 years?
Well, no, I mean they're hollering on these Teslas 300,000 miles on the battery.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though is that what kind of conditions? Is it a lot of hot and cold? Because that's damaging to a battery.
They don't mention it. They just say
if they're driving in California, that's a whole different ball game.
Either way, if it doesn't. Right now. That's right now.
Yes.
That's because they're not government. That's because. So there was I've seen a whole video on electric cars. There's a whole economics thing you have to understand behind this, because green energy. There's a hump it has to get over.
Yeah.
And that hump is that it has to be cheaper than the alternative.
Yeah.
The only way to currently achieve that is with crap tons of government subsidies.
Yeah.
But the issue is the competition is constantly trying to get that to not happen. Because they don't want I told our uncle this weekend.
Yeah.
You've got a small fraction of people who they've got about 15, 20 more years worth of them working, quote unquote, being CEOs or whatever. Mm-hmm. And they're being asked by the government to switch to something completely different, something completely new. And they're running the math and they're like, I'm not going to make any money on this but before I retire. Yeah. I'm going to spend more money. I'm never going to see the fruits of my labor. And then they did the math and say, what if I just pay off some congressmen and women to vote against it? They found out it's a lot cheaper to do that and to then just keep doing what they're doing than it is to listen to the government and switch over.
Yeah. Because
they want to keep making money. 10, 15, 20, I don't know anymore though. The U.S. recently is kind of, oh God, we just lit with Roe v. Wade being reversed. We're 70 years back in the past. Anyways, the world needs the U.S. to move on, and the U.S. just took like 10 steps back, and it's so frustrating. So I don't even know anymore. Honest to God, we're gonna just be praying that car companies can lower the costs of electric vehicles because the government's isn't gonna help us anymore.
Nah, I don't know.
But right now, yes, they're about the same. Gas is still technically cheaper.
Yeah. But
given enough time, given enough government subsidies, electric will be cheaper. Battery technology is progressing faster than ever because it's getting more money than ever. Had we been giving the same amount of money we put in internal combustion engines, all the time and money we spent to developing horizontal drilling and all that crap, if we'd done that to develop, batteries, I guarantee you we'd be a lot further ahead.
The technology was not there in the 1900s.
Because no one thought to try and make it there.
No, what I'm saying though is that, we didn't have the useful skills and tools to work with. Nobody knew where to start. We know where to start. We kind of know where to start now, but just because of how science has progressed. But nobody knew where to start because the vocabulary wasn't there.
That's because there weren't enough people working on it.
Well, because they were all doing their own things, Think about radar and all these other great things that have came in the 20th century.
From war. We only developed radar because we needed it to defeat the Nazis.
Yes, but radar, the ideas were there before that, though. Because that's all relativity. That was early 1900 stuff.
Right. I really think that
The
you're looking
science
too
and
small.
math was not there for batteries yet.
I know it wasn't there. But I guarantee you, had we had more people working on it, you would have developed it faster.
Well, obviously, but there's a lot of things that had to have taken place, though.
But
You're not looking at I don't think you're looking at this equally, because there's a lot of things that had to have taken place in order for us to be there. It's like
what? What? Mention it. Tell me these things.
So, for example, the way that chemistry and the bonds and all that work, I don't. This is all. That's like what, 50s, 60s, like even like computers and stuff. That was all in the 40s and 50s.
Right. Yeah, but you know how many people were working on semiconductors?
A lot.
What? Well,
They had an entire team working on a computer. An entire team working on building this big giant room.
Well, okay. Computers were developing as fast as they could. That I don't think. I mean, yeah, obviously you could probably throw more money at the problem, but the computers developed as fast as they could. But I guarantee you, chemistry did not develop as fast as it could have.
You don't think so?
No. I guarantee you, had they had a more focused goal, because they were just doing general research. But had it been more focused, they would have came across the things they needed to figure out what makes batteries work now.
I mean, the other thing was just a simple use for it. At the time, they didn't have a need to have a super powerful battery to travel from place to place.
Right.
There was no need for it. It's like what if
Right,
It's
right.
Like, hang on.
You're
Hang
proving my point.
Hang on. It's like if we'd given an airplane, to the people in the 1800s, I don't think it would have, been this great almighty thing today, because they would have had very little use for it then in order for it to progress now. So if all the technology was given in research, was given to the people in the 1900s, it would not be this great almighty thing, because they did not have the use for it back then. There was no use for it.
The plane had no use in the 1800s.
Early 1800s, before the Civil War and all that.
Okay, yes, before the Industrial Revolution.
Yes. There would have been no use for it. Or, I guess, there would have been a use, but the war is what helped things progress. The Civil War, or I guess, so in this case, it'd be World War II. That's when electricity took its next leap. So it would not be until like the 40s or 50s when batteries would start to step up, I think. In my opinion.
Right. Again, but I'm saying if the need had been there, had they decided to not do the internal combustion engine.
That's what I'm saying. You're not looking at it fairly. All these events had to have taken place for the need to be there.
Well, no. I was trying to generate the need when I said, had we not done the internal combustion engine, the need would have been there.
Well, yeah.
That's the whole premise started because...
But somebody would have found the internal combustion.
I'm not saying whether they did. I'm saying somebody said, no, let's not do this. It's not a good idea. I'm telling you that had somebody just decided to not do the internal combustion engine, had they just said, let's keep with let's just keep working on batteries, it would have progressed.
That's your problem right there.
I know.
That is your problem.
I don't care. What I'm trying to tell you is the internal combustion engine, had they not done it, had they kept with the electric, you said the electric came before the internal combustion engine.
Because then they found internal combustion. It was like, bro.
I'm not, you're trying to bring it back into play. Leave it out. It's gone. It can't exist. There's no gasoline on Earth. There's no gasoline. It can't exist.
Okay.
Then there is a need to develop batteries.
Yeah.
And then they would have thrown the same amount of money at the problem that they did with internal combustion engines.
Yeah.
Batteries would be way further than they are now. Like, way further.
Yeah, I suppose.
You underestimate how much money was thrown into the internal combustion engine.
Because it doesn't make sense to not put money into internal combustion engines. What? Did you see what I just pulled up there?
I know. I'm just telling you, ignore it.
That's my problem. I don't want to ignore it.
Because
your hypothetical.
But now you're telling me you can't keep ignoring the need.
Because your hypothetical makes no sense because of that fact. Your hypothetical is a world without coal.
Gasoline.
Gasoline.
You can't turn coal in the cars.
Or coal.
They tried. It didn't work.
A world without gasoline. I cannot imagine that. That is your problem. It's a hypothetical
It's a
world.
very possible.
Okay, no. That is the problem, though. A hypothetical world where gasoline does not exist. Only then. But we do not live in that world.
But you said you need to look at the need. Need. Look at the need.
Yeah.
So here I am. I'm looking at the need. You just gotta leave variables out. If you can't leave variable out, you can't be open-minded.
You're ignoring variables. That's what I don't like.
That's the whole premise of freaking thought experiments, is ignoring variables. It's like ignoring friction and air resistance.
Yes, but that only gets you so far. Because, you can't ignore air resistance and then say, let's go to the moon.
No, listen, I'm just telling you that had they taken the same amount of money that we put into internal combustion, which is a lot, it's a lot of time,
I know.
effort, and money. Had we done the batteries, I think you're drastically underestimating how much could have been done.
Yeah.
Because they would have realized, okay, we're kind of as far as we can get right now. And then the CEO would have been like, why? And they're like, well, we're not sure how these materials work. We don't know we're not exactly sure why when we mix lead and sulfuric acid it makes electricity. CEO's like, okay, figure it out.
Yeah. It takes time, but okay.
And the CEO's like, figure it out. It's like, okay, we need the funding. Okay, well, that's what they did with the internal combustion engine. It's the same. The guys that developed the lead, the putting lead in gasoline.
I don't know if that's how. I thought
Their issue was engines need to get better, but the issue was gasoline liked to ignite randomly when it was compressed.
So, when this was invented, I think it was done by private people, like people just as a hobby. I don't think it was like a big manufacturer. I think it was just somebody doing a hobby, trying to find a better way to do something. I don't think there was a big investor. That was commercially successful.
Well, it doesn't. Well, it's the same with. Same way with Edison started out with all the other stuff, it just turned into commercial.
Well, yes. But it's not like, it was people just doing something as a hobby and then stumbling upon something. That's how
right, but by the time that we're talking about it though, it would have been corporate. It wouldn't have been hobbies because there was no a hobbyist doesn't need to doesn't need to figure out how bonds between lead molecules work to figure this stuff out. No, that's not. They don't need to know that. They didn't need to know that. This is the reason why it's not Starlight. I don't know what the material's called, but this guy developed this amazing, supposedly anyways, this amazing material that was a super great heat shield, would revolutionize the space industry potentially. Yeah. But he made it in his garage. He didn't need to know how to understand how it worked. He just did it. Well, now when he died, it's all lost, and now we can't. We're trying to figure it out, and it's like,
wait, what is this?
It's this material that it's incredibly light, super easy to make that we know of. You have to. Nighthawk and Light has a good video on it. It's star something. It's just this incredible material. We have ideas of what it might have been like. We don't know. The guy died and took the formula and the secret to his grave. He never wrote it down.
It's called what? Wait, what did you say the video?
Here, we can look it up.
Hi everyone.
Okay, now we're looking for a video. Okay. Paste. Star. It's not gonna work. Bingo! It is Starlight. Oh, it's just not. This is part 2. You need to watch part 1.
The last super material.
The Lost.
Oh, Lost.
Yeah, because the guy never wrote down the formula. He took it to his grave. Because, I don't know, the guy was kind of crazy who developed... In my opinion, he was kind of crazy. He didn't want to sell it to NASA or whoever, so that it could be, used and developed. To be fair, though, honestly, we've developed materials that are kind of better than it now. But had we been able to use it back when, the guy came up with it, this is like back in the 70s or whatever, it'd been great. It would have been awesome. Could have revolutionized, the space shuttle would have been probably completely different.
Yeah.
But, like, the guy, big, stubborn, blah, 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 kind of,
I mean, there's a lot of people like that were absolute geniuses. I mean, like, Cavendish, the guy who weighed the Earth, essentially. He had journals on electricity and Coulomb's law in his journals when he died. And if you know anything about the history, so Coulomb...
Isn't Coulomb with a K?
No. Let's see. I want to know when he was born. Coulomb. So he was born 1736. Maybe it's not as big of a difference as I thought. And then... So when he was born... Henry Cavendish. So he was born 1731. I guess they would have been alive at the same time. But he came up with Coulomb's law.
Before Coulomb?
Before Coulomb. But he never shared it with anyone. He took it to his grave in his journals. And then it was only afterwards Maxwell was reading through his journals and stumbled upon it.
See that kind of crap. Oh, God, it irritates me.
But he was a very, very shy fella. He would almost never talk to anyone except a small group of friends. And in order to get him to talk or something, you had to ask him a question. He wouldn't just randomly, spontaneously start talking to you. He also refused to talk to women. He had like a housemaid or something, and refused to have any sort of interaction with her. And he had like a shed where he did all of his experiments and stuff.
He might have been autistic of some sort.
Yeah, probably. But yeah.
No, but it's just, that kind of stuff irritates me. Because it's like, you've got something that could revolutionize. I mean, obviously, it didn't lose us it really didn't lose us much time. Lost us a few years. Big whoop.
But the thing is that a lot of people were, scared to, throw their ideas out there because they didn't want someone else to start working on them and then take it further than they did. Like Newton, he came up with his, Principia laws and everything, gravitational laws in 1666 or something. And he didn't publish his Principia until like 20 years later. It's like 1687.
See, I mean, back then it made sense because that's their livelihood.
Yeah.
I mean, it still makes sense now, but like, I'm the kind of person where it's like, if you've got it, if you've developed something that could add to the human knowledge, the human collective, they could really change things. Like that needs to be out there. People need to be able to work on that.
But they want to do it themselves.
Right. I understand that. I get where they're coming from, but it's like...
Because they want to be the one to say, I discovered that. Because it also gave them a one-up on people who couldn't do it. Like, look what I've done. Because, like even think about math. Like, Greek mathematicians very rarely would share their ideas. Actually, maybe this is later, like 1200s or something. But they had... so the like professor, like the master mathematicians, people would try and have duels over solving math problems, and when someone came upon some trick or whatever,
well, they talked about that in Vertassium's video.
Yeah, but this is even before that. People, because I guess I learned about this in high school. Huron came up with this formula for quickly solving the area of a triangle, only knowing the side lengths.
Side, side, side?
Yes. What? Yeah, side. Because traditionally it's base times height times a half is the area. But if you don't know the height and you only know the side lengths, it becomes a difficult problem, especially if they're not equal. It's a scaling triangle. It becomes more difficult to solve the area. Well, he found a quick and easy, simple formula. And he never shared that because he didn't want people to take that formula from him and then be able to one-up him.
Right.
And so people kept that secret.
He kept side, side, side for everybody.
Yeah.
I don't really give a crap about side, side, side.
It's actually quite useful because, I've done calculations and stuff where it was actually very useful.
I just make right triangles.
No, but you can't make a right triangle out of it if you don't know the height.
Oh, well, no, anything I try and do, I purposely make right triangles.
Yes, but you don't know the height, though.
Well, no, I mean, yes, there are situations where, yeah.
And so, yes, all the time, I've stumbled upon situations where I cannot make a right triangle. Not like creating things, like trying to solve problems.
Oh, see, I'm not solving problems. I'm trying to create things. When creating things, I can do what I want. I can change the parameters. Oh, look, I'm gonna have to figure out a scaling triangle. Pass. We'll just brute force it and completely change the design, do a right triangle.
Yeah.
Anyways, new segment time. Even though that probably could have counted as a fourth segment. A new fourth segment, different one. Superhero. Okay. What's a superpower that we could discuss this time?
Well, I don't know.
What's oh God. Well, I don't want to do immortality. We'll go back and forth with immortality 1,000 times. Maybe
Wasn't there a video you were watching or something, or
what?
Or was it a Reddit post?
It was a Reddit post.
Well, pull it up. Find another one.
I could go reference it to see if there were other ones.
Yeah.
There was what's Tucker?
Why do you have that thing so loud?
So I can hear it and so I can answer people when they try and get a hold of me.
On a podcast, though?
Oh, now I understand why he didn't like that. Okay, let me see if I can find the post. I mean, there's always the exact change one, which so you ever heard the exact? I think we.
Oh yeah.
Which literally gives you the ability to bankrupt entire economies.
I suppose.
I think that's a cool superpower in the modern age. The ability to completely bankrupt an entire country just by walking into it.
Yeah.
You could bring up world peace very quickly. Although I wonder, oh man, the implications of that are crazy. Okay, let me see if I can find it. I thought I saved it, but maybe I didn't. Oh, I've seen too many memes since then. There's too much stuff. Wait, is this it? That's not it. Okay.
Fine, we'll go to Reddit here. Let's just do just cam. Okay. Okay. Reddit. What are we gonna look for? Is it underrated
I
or?
think it was underrated or something like that.
Yeah. Underrated superpowers. Ask Reddit. Okay. Alright. Let's see what Reddit has to say here, shall we? What's an underrated superpower? I say Iceman's power. I don't know, we give crap about Iceman. My thoughts on removing in God. What? That's no. Series of this isn't. What? I hate how Reddit works. Because, like, okay, I want to see all the replies to this. And then, oh, crap. Okay. It's all about the Iceman one. It's not... Where... I can't get to the bottom. Okay, because then it's just... I don't understand how it works. I don't know how PewDiePie and them surf Reddit. I don't understand that. I've tried. I always end up on different stuff. Okay. Alright. What? Immortal? Oh. One of his few superpowers was essentially immortal. He could dissolve into water and reconstitute himself? I mean, yeah, he's, there one day... Oh my god. Okay. Taskmaster's pretty cool. He has a photographic flexes, which means he can learn people's fighting style. That's boring. Come on. Superpowers. Duplication. Multiple man. Manipulation luck. Okay, there's an idea to talk about.
Yeah, what?
The people who can that can like make multiples of themselves.
The Flash can do that.
Right. But like
I'm telling you, the Flash is the OP.
Well, no, we cannot bring up Flash.
Okay.
Rules for this podcast. We've already talked about the Flash, but it's like but the people that can make like different copies of themselves. You really think about that. How does that work? Do these other copies there's there's the people that make like holograms of themselves. They're basically useless, but they're just there to distract the enemy so you can get away or whatever.
Yeah.
Or there's what if do they listen to your command? Are they a hive mind? Can they be sentient?
Yeah, and how does conservation of mass work?
Oh I mean, have you seen Pokemon?
No.
Basically, there's a YouTuber on game. The other guy who makes posts for Game Theory.
What?
So you know how there's MatPat makes posts for Game Theory.
Yeah.
And then there's a second guy that makes posts.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, he did a video about Pokemon evolution and how they would cause a massive explosion every time they evolve, because a lot of times they're getting bigger. So they have to suck up, the air and the ground around them to turn into, the next evolution.
Yeah.
And so, they're basically disintegrating all this crap around, causing this massive explosion, ripping molecules apart.
Well, yeah, I think duplication would, take apart it so you'd be half the size. Or a quarter of the size.
Or
So now you'd be like 25%, your height. So you could have 4 little docks running around.
Is that useful, though?
No. Well, that's why I think it should work. Conservation of mass, right?
Right.
You can't just make more spontaneously.
Or
energy has to come from somewhere.
Right. But, the ones that can make people... teleportation, every time they teleport somewhere, they cause an explosion.
Yeah, that too.
Because you have to push all those air molecules out of the way.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh my god, just disintegrating people as you do things. I mean, that was the same with the Flash. Ah, crap.
But then you'd have a vacuum where the air wasn't. That would just collapse on each other.
Oh, man. Yeah. That version of teleportation is whack.
Yep.
The cloning yourself one, that's always fun. Big fan of the... I've never been a fan of the cloning one, though. It's kind of a lame power.
No.
Well, okay, is there other ones? Blah, blah, blah. Nope, still talking about the cloning. Okay, laser eyes? Could scan your own groceries? That's not how that works. You can't just scan your own groceries. That's not how that works.
I got laser eye surgery. I was very disappointed with the results.
I don't think so. I don't think I don't think time control is underrated. I mean, they definitely don't use it to its full capacity, but that's because it doesn't make for a good story if you did.
Yeah, just stop time and just poof. You could kill anyone. Anyone and everyone.
Yeah, just you could wipe out all of humanity.
Yep.
Yeah, see, it's not
That
underrated.
That doesn't
it's
make
just,
for a good story, though. Because it's
Yeah.
like, alright, here's my power. Alright, end of story. I rule the world. I'm the only one left.
What? Being able to summon spiders on people? No. I would hate. No.
That'd be a villain, yeah.
That's evil. Sleep immediately when going to bed, though, that through the night without waking up.
Browsing Reddit at 2 a.m. Yep, really underrated.
Being able to make clone. I don't. Okay, what are people's reasons here? I always thought it was super cool being able to create duplicates.
Because they can
yourself
do
is
so much more at one time.
Yeah. I don't know. What'd you just do?
Hit the space bar.
Oh. I overpowered in such an underrated. Okay, yeah,
We're
get
not
to your
even
point.
showing any of this.
Oh, right. Well, it doesn't matter. None of these are very interesting. I think I wonder how much time people spend on Reddit to get to the good stuff.
Well, part of it, I think it's the post.
The ability to project empathy.
Because what is it? Wait, go up. All the way up. Well, yeah, you're on Ask Reddit. You're not on, like, r Ask Reddit. That's the problem.
Where's r/?
You just need to...
It's just character rant.
So, like, if you just go to, like...
Oh, it's broken now. Also, this is my other issue with Reddit. It takes forever to load.
Character rant?
Yeah. She-Hulk once hid from an enemy in the ad page. Fourth wall powers are no joke. What? Those just don't make any sense. Those aren't... But see, that works in a comic. That doesn't work in...
View entire discussion.
Earth rock powers didn't get what they deserve. When you make a character with an element powers, the first thought is always fire followed by water and ice, then air. I think more earth-based powers. Usually outside of Avatar, there's... Yeah, get to your point. Yeah, I don't care, but get to your point. You don't explain it. You just tell us, like, yeah, Earth powers. I think they're underrated. But why? You don't explain it. You just talk about these other superheroes that have the power.
Yeah.
You gotta explain it. And then they don't talk about it. Like, completely useless. I think teleportation, that's what we just said. We just talked about teleportation. Cloning abilities. I really don't think cloning abilities is all that cool. It's not, I don't know. I've never liked it. Maybe that's my issue. Everyone else seems to like it. Maybe there's all these egotistical people on Reddit.
Yeah.
Let's see a story with the main character who proves their worth as a little guy rising to do great things, only to find out that
I don't know what that means. They have blood ties to roll it. Oh. I don't know. Anyways, doesn't matter. I don't want to. Why did I skip to that one?
This was a lame fourth segment.
Well, I kind of hoped we'd find something more interesting, but we blew all of our energy
Well,
on the battery.
superpowers, we already talked about one, and I don't want to talk about any others.
You were the one that said that we could we grind these out.
No, you said this was a great segment. We should do more of these. And I said, what, like, bickering? That's what the last one was.
Well, that's what we did for the third segment.
You made a comment on how you liked it so much. I was like, I feel like we were just bickering.
Yeah. Well, we got the third segment in.
That was our bickering.
Yeah.
There you go. We got our bickering out in the third segment. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Can't do that next time. Damn third segment. I mean, how do we even get on the battery discussion in the first place?
We're talking about, future of the channel and stuff. And then, we're talking about, was it Physics Girls videos or something? And then hydrogen cars, and then batteries, and then batteries.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Because you talked about her hydrogen video, and I said it was a big shill.
Yeah.
It wasn't very good. All it did was kind of just piss me off. Because, like, it really did not. It was not good. She used to have good videos, but not anymore. Well, anyways, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. New podcast every other Friday, 11 a.m. Central Time. And good night.